have Andy here. He is a member from the implementation program, and he is willing to share his experience so far within the group and also using the reboot system. Andy, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came across JK's program and the system?
Sure. So technically still a student, and I'm gonna study music production in next month actually. Before that, I did astronomy, but I wanted to make that switch, and part of what was holding me back was actually also the addiction, because it would just make me stay in my comfort zone. And the reason I came to Porn Reboot is I actually have been following JK and his stuff for like 2 years, and I like from day one I just thought, oh, this guy knows what he's saying, and I just started to implement things slowly but surely, but I never really got that certainty that I wanted to know that I was doing the right thing. So then in, I think, beginning of this year, actually, I got into the free Facebook group, and then I just started interacting with the people, with the reboot strategist as well. And after a while, I just thought, why am I not joining the implementation group? Because the free group, it was good, don't get me wrong, but I just wanted more out of it and wanted the complete system.
Right. Okay, cool. Yeah, because I agree. Like the free group, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just when you start taking it seriously, you want to take it to another level. When you join the implementation, it's a bunch of men trying to elevate their freaking reboot there. It's nothing but like no bullshit, right? It's like no negativity. It's more like, hey, just do this or that. And you're into music, nice, man. So you're saying that while you were in your compulsive behavior, that was affecting your kind of like creative process and just being able to do things consistently?
Yes, but also just my academic pursuit, because I was just very lazy to to put it like that, and lethargic, and I would, every time I get stressed, I would just use porn to take the edge off, but it would only get worse after that, of course. And I got into many negative spiral because of that, and it just affected my grades, it affected my motivation, and just my general outlook. Because I already had my hands full just trying to keep my academic career up, I didn't have any time for music anymore, which is something that's very dear to me, and something that means a lot to me. So that really affected my self-image and the way I felt about myself, because I couldn't do what I felt I should do, and I kind of feel that
self-image was affected. And
right.
Okay, no, thank you for sharing, brother. So this is a follow-up question to that. So while you're about a couple of months in the reboot system, has that improved significantly or a little bit? How has your pretty much like those feelings of lethargic, apathy, are they still there? What's the progress so far with that?
I would say they come up every now and then, but in like the amount that they come up is just way less. And when they do come up, I know how to deal with it. I don't get flustered, I don't get all down in the dumps about it. I know what I can do, and then I apply that, and then it works. I use the tools, or I use my reboot circle. I know what I can do now to deal with those things, and that honestly has just been a great relief.
That's good to hear, man. That's awesome, man. That's no like surprise to me, because once you start using the tools, it's like you bring awareness to, again, like what those spirals you get into or spins, and you'd be like, oh, I was just identifying with it so much that I didn't even pull back and be like, oh, I need to have a routine. I need to just write down what I'm feeling, whatever that is, right? What was the biggest tool that worked for you for that?
I would say in the beginning stages it was the checklist, but now I'm a huge fan of dialoguing. It just works so well for me, and I'm surprised at how such a simple thing can have such a profound impact. And now that I've been using it consistently for over 3 months, now it's just changed my approach to dealing with my thoughts, basically.
Nice. So dialogues from Breaking the Cycle, the book, right? And how did you experience when you first wrote your first dialogue? What was that moment for you like?
Well, I had tried dialoguing before coming into the system, but I just didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
But then when I did it after I had read the book, it suddenly all just made sense. I knew what I was trying to get from this sub personality. I knew what a sub personality was now and how to engage it in the right way.
Nice. Okay, I like that. It's like you're kind of able to see it now with the tools. It's a different story, right? It's like, oh, okay, I just move on with my day. And
Yeah,
thank you for sharing that, Andy. So what would you say was your biggest win so far with using the system? What's your biggest win that you could share here?
I was thinking a big one was in summer. I went on holiday to Albania,
Uh,
and I remember just holidays used to always cause me to slip or relapse without fail.
yeah,
But then now I had the system and I knew what my non-negotiables were. I knew what to prioritize, and I just made it through clean. It wasn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but it was just such a comforting feeling actually to be able to have a holiday and come out of that without having a relapse, without feeling like shit during or after. I actually got to relax on my holiday this time.
wow, that's a big win, man. A lot of people when they go like on trips or something, because it breaks. Even if you're using the system, right? Some people just don't plan ahead, and it's okay. But for those
Yeah.
who know what's coming, and they just be able to know, you know what, those irrational thoughts come, right? Those beliefs come that, hey, man, once you come back, you're gonna slip. It's like, no, I'm not, right? That's kind of, I can't predict the future, but I can predict what I control now and what's gonna happen when I come back. So being able to do that, man, that's, I feel like what's one of the more difficult ones for people when they get out of their routine, right? Whatever that is in your room, you already know what you're doing and it works here. But once you get out of that, like you travel, that's like if you've done these routines so much or using the tools, it just becomes second nature. Like, oh, yeah, that's just a silly thought, and you just ignore it and just move
Yeah,
on.
exactly.
That's awesome, man. Thank you for sharing that. That's a big one, man. I would agree. Like for me, was the biggest one when I would get sick. When I would get sick, I'd be like, my body's weak. I just make that excuse. But no,
Yeah.
when I had that moment, so you know what? It's when I get sick, I would like slip or just go off on a binge sometimes. And now I was like, no, this time, no, that's bullshit. I don't have to believe that thought. And that was like my big win at the time as well. So thank you for sharing that, brother. Another, did you attend any of the reboot coaches? And if so, what was your favorite one to attend to? And what tools did you learn from that particular coach as well?
So I attended the sessions. I attended sessions with JK, with Coach Milan and Dr. Ranking. I've actually not yet attended one of Dr. Eastman's, but I really want to in the future because I'm thinking it's becoming relevant for me to also go through those.
Yeah.
But I like the meetings with Dr. Ranking the best, I would say. And what I
Okay.
really like about his approach is that oftentimes he'll listen to a brother asking a question, and then he kind of opens the floor to anybody who has input for that. And in that way, you can learn from multiple experiences and not just the one doctor, even though he has loads of information to share. Of course, he always does in the end. But it's just such a nice feeling of brotherhood and community that he brings into the meeting because of that approach.
Interesting. I like that because you're right. Even we do this kind of similar in the implementation group as well, right? When JK says like, "Hey, ask questions in the group," because the collective experience from beginning stages to late stages of rebooters, right, and in between, that's more valuable to you than JK telling you what to do or this or that because it's relevant to you, right? You could be in the same spot where the middle rebooter is, and you're like, "Oh, I'm going through this as well." That helped me a lot more than if JK were to tell me. And that's good, man. I like what Dr. Rankin. I attended one in the intensive, and it was pretty cool. He's a very chill dude, and
Yeah.
he's kind of the life coach type of guy, which is awesome. I'm glad that you were able to attend those calls. They're pretty useful. And yeah, man, thanks for sharing that. That's awesome. Did you have an accountability partner before joining the program?
I did. But
Yeah,
one thing I noticed when I did join the program is just the quality of men that are within. It actually kind of blew my mind just how committed these guys are. And when you compare it to accountability partners outside of the group, of course, I had an accountability partner that was actually really good for me, but there's just a certain level of commitment that I wanted in an accountability partner that I don't think I would ever be able to find outside of the group.
Nice. Okay, cool. Because a lot of the times, I don't know how someone will join the program, right? Be like, hey, I'm gonna do this myself, right? That mentality. Because a lot of the people that come from the public group or wherever, right? I feel like there's
Mhm.
a lot of unlearning to do with in regards to like the no fab, being lone wolf, and being able to kind of get a accountability or just yeah, someone that's in the journey with you and using the system. I think that was a game changer for me as well. There, hey, we both invested our time and energy and money into this, and now I'm able to confide and I'm gonna have some days that I'm not gonna be the best. And likewise, right? That my accountability partner is gonna feel the same way and I'm gonna be there for him.
And
It becomes a really legit relationship, right? You guys get to know each other in an intimate way where it's like, oh, and it's okay to share. And hey, man, like accountability partners within using the same system is very useful, brother. I know who your accountability partner is. That's why I asked, like, how was that for you? You guys are doing great, man. I see you guys again. This brother here, and he's engaging in the group and just going 100% in the implementation, which is awesome. I love when I see that type of stuff. Would you recommend this program to someone, even if that guy's on the fence saying, you know what, I'm watching this video, I'm listening to Andy, right? He's like, man, you know what? I don't know. I still have that doubt in my voice saying, no, I don't want to join. What would you tell that person?
I would just tell that person that, what the fuck are you waiting for, right? Because if you're on the fence, then you already know you want and need this. And that's where I was for a long time. I was on the fence just thinking, will it be worth it? Will I get scammed? Will it actually work? But I knew deep down that I wanted and needed it. So I would tell that brother to just be honest with yourself. If you need it and if you want it, then go for it. Because time is ticking by and we're only getting older and this behavior is not going to help us in the future. So stop wasting time.
You're the brother, man. Stop wasting time. And I think that's so true, right? You could be like 2 years from now, oh, I should have joined. But hey, that if it scares you a little, if there's a lot of doubts, and maybe it's for you, right? I feel like that's where you should take the action. By no means, you can probably attest to this, Andy. This program is not for the weak-hearted or minded. You have to go through some shit. You have to hold yourself accountable as well to doing your morning routine, joining the live calls, just and facing whatever, perhaps any trauma that comes up that you thought you dealt with, but it was so repressed, but it came up because you're ready for it, and just being
Right.
prepared for all that. And but the beautiful part is we don't leave you alone right out there. You have us, and you have great coaches. You have JK, and most importantly, the brothers here that support you. And thank you for sharing that, Andy. I like the way you said. And final question, brother. If you were to describe your experience of using the system in one word, what would that be?
So it would be certainty for me because
Certain.
that's the thing that I lacked before. And I just know 100% certain that I will get rid of this behavior. I know that when I go in a group, I'm 100% certain that I will get the help I need. I know when I speak to an AP, I will be 100% certain that they will be there to support me. And honestly, that's all I wanted. And it's so worth it to me to be in this group and have that. Because I tended to overthink a lot about the future and the uncertainty that comes with that. And
Yeah.
then this is the perfect remedy for dealing with that.
I love it. I'm not gonna add to that. It's certainty. Love it, bro. Then beautifully explained. Because I was the same way. Like, man, think about the future. You're just shooting yourself in the foot. But no, thank you for sharing, Andy, and thank you for taking the time to again share your experience. And I know a lot of people are gonna watch this and be like, man, I'm gonna relate to Andy because this compulsive behavior, it's getting crazier, man. And type of wins people need to hear. It's possible to get control of your sexual behavior, right? I know for me in the beginning, it was like iffy, right? Wishy-washy. Like maybe it's possible, but once I know that I had those coping skills, the people I know I could ask the right questions to, it just becomes a matter of time. Like, oh, I'm gonna get there now. It's certainty, right? I'm certain now that I'm gonna get to where I want to be. But all right, Andy, thank you for sharing, and anyone watching here, hey, hopeful to see you in the group, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.
Whenever you're ready, here are 4 ways that Porn Reboot can help you out for free. The first way is to subscribe to our channel and make sure that you click on the notification bell to get a new video every other day. The second way is to actually get a free copy of my book, Confessions of a Porn Addict: 7 Secrets of Porn-Free Men, where you'll learn about my personal struggle and the lessons I learned over the past 14 years, as well as get strategies for putting together your own personalized reboot plan and ending your compulsive behavior with pornography or masturbation. So click on the link in the description below this video to get the free ebook. And thirdly, if you're not sure where you'd like to start, but you'd like to learn more about my team and I, or you'd like to spend time with more like-minded professionals like entrepreneurs, business owners, men who work in sales or consulting or high-level jobs, men who are controlling their behavior, then join our free and confidential group, the Porn Reboot group on Facebook. There's also a link to join the group in the description below this video. And finally, if you need our help right now because you have a burning issue, it's an emergency. Your behavior with pornography is hurting you mentally. You're about to lose your relationship and you want to live up to your potential or be an authentic man and free yourself from shame, guilt, and underachieving, then click on the link in the description below this video that actually says free coaching call, or visit elevatedrecovery.org and click on the link which says book a call.